epiphany, I call it, where I saw my sister and I remember looking at her and thinking, wow, she looks so good. And then it dawned on me, like, if that were you, if I were looking at myself, I would go, oh, I need to lose more weight. Like that just made me go, oh my God, oh no, like am I mentally ill? Like they're okay. I have like body dysmorphia or something. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight. I ended up getting down to like 105, under 105 pounds, which is actually underweight for my height. I still wanted to lose weight, by the way.
First, I want to give props to the Unnatural Vegan for recently coming out with her story of bulimia. She's 5'4" and now she's a normal weight at 135, but she went down to 105, which is as she said, underweight for her height. But I'm beginning to realize that vegans seem to think the lower end of normal and even under that is where we should all be at. Whether it's calling my normal, healthy looking babies sumo children or just typical looking people, average people, fat. I just think there's a real disconnect between what's actually healthy and what people are perceiving to be healthy themselves. Because to me, this could be disgusting. Whereas with most of the high carb community, they think that you have to be basically underweight to be healthy, and that our society is just perceiving this all so wrong.
So I would start at 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. Every inch above that, I'm going to times it by 2 to 3. So 10 times 2 is 20, times 3 would be 30. So 120 to 130 would be the ideal range for my height. Now I think on the lower end of that, small boned, on the higher end of that, big boned. Now I'm not talking big boned.
I am not advocating for fat acceptance. I am just advocating for normal acceptance. Just normal, healthy acceptance. Of course, this is not just vegans. I've seen this everywhere in the health community. People examining themselves for multiple minutes on end, grabbing a healthy amount of fat on their body and calling it excess, given the idea that you can just keep on and keep on getting better, keep on improving, keep on losing more and more in fat until there's literally nothing left, which would be, unhealthy because you need some fat on your body. You need a healthy amount of fat on your body, but that's the problem. What amount is healthy? And people are so confused about what this is. And so I think it's worse with ourselves, with how we perceive ourselves, because we just feel like we need to keep going. We can keep improving and going further and further. And it ends up being like it's never enough. So I want to propose a challenge, a different sort of challenge for the new year, for 2020, that maybe we all try to re-examine what our idea of healthy is and a healthy amount of fat on ourselves, and just try to accept a normal way of thinking.
Pounds in the full 30 days, and my physique changed slightly, but nothing too crazy. I mostly just felt more lean and more comfortable in my body, so that was definitely a plus for me.
If that means that your biggest meal of the day has to be a big bowl of greens and you're starving most of the time, then that's probably not the best for your body. I think it's safe to say that if that's what it takes, then it's okay to have a little bit more fat on your body, and you need to learn to be okay with that. On the other hand, if you're never able to eat another carb in order to look the way you think you should look, and it's just killing you, then maybe it's time to reevaluate what you should actually look like and how lean you should actually be to be healthy. And if it works for you, then fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who are struggling and suffering just because they think they need to be better and get better and better when they're fine the way they are. So if you're eating a whole foods, nutrient dense, eating to satiety, and you're not overdoing it, you know you're not overdoing treats, you're having, maybe a treat every once in a while, a couple times a week, whatever, and it's not that big deal. You're not binging, you're not doing anything extreme, and you still think you need to cut back further and further, maybe, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's when it's time to reevaluate and just look at yourself again, because you know you're not overeating. You know you're not overdoing it. You know you're eating right. So maybe you look just great the way you are. Maybe that little bit you can pinch on your belly isn't such a bad deal.
Point, like legit abs.